like that. Okay? And then I can go like this. Watch. Everyone, eyes up. Eyes up. Everyone, eyes up. Okay.
Yes. Do you try to touch the midpoint of the edges?
Yes. I'm trying to touch these points. I have to, in fact, for it to feel right. Okay, now, here's something else, though, to watch, you guys. Watch this. If I go like this,
All of this is just simple geometry.
what was that?
All of this is just geometry.
Yeah, it's just geometry, exactly. Sorry, I drew the major axis a little bit wrong. But what you end up getting is this.
Oh, I see. It's
It's totally different.
It's butt tissue.
It's butt tissue, yeah. All right, now, so do you guys see how that works?
Sarah, can I just
Yeah, Julianne.
If you were drawing a die, how would you, like...
Let me
because
show you
the-
that as an additional step. That's getting a little bit more involved, and there's one other thing that's more important I have to make sure we get to today.
Okay.
If we have time, I'll do it.
Okay.
Byron?
Oh, I didn't have a question.
Okay, now, what I'm going to do is, let me do this again, but show you from the other side. Okay? So, all right. Let's draw another cube. Oh, and by the way, you guys, I'm drawing these cubes very regular, you know, without extreme, you know, dimensions, because I want to make sure I'm clear and all that. Later on, when you start making the cubes more extreme, it all should still work exactly the same way. It's just you'll have much narrower ellipses on. If you have a fat ellipse on one side, you'll have a narrow ellipse on the other side, and it starts looking a little visually challenging for the first diagram, so I'm trying to avoid that. Yeah, Patch?
all of a sudden, those pictures you showed us on the first day, like, do you want to be able to do this? Like, they just seem so much more achievable.
They totally are. And I think I mentioned this, but when you guys, at our next class, when I show you what you can actually do with these, once you know what you can do it, the quote from last semester was one of the guys he was having a head exploding moment. And, I want to draw everything now, because you can once you understand this. Okay, so, all right, you guys, so let's take it from the other side and kind of follow along. See if you can guess what I'm going to be doing before I'm doing it. So you know where I'm at this point. I find the center of the square. And I'm using this just because I want to make sure the line is very straight. You know, it would be like, okay, yeah, okay. Okay, now on this one, I want to explain how I'm finding the estimates of the lengths of the major and minor. Okay, so up until this point, you should be able to do the orientations okay now. You know that this line is going to be vertical. You know that this line is going to be going like this. You see what I mean? So you should be able to do the orientation. So now let's talk about how I'm finding the lengths of them. Okay, look at this. I'm going to draw it. Actually, let me draw it as somewhat precisely. Okay, let me draw this somewhat precisely for you guys.
I still can't do that correctly.
Now, how are you so good with the rolling roll?
I always manage to like tilt it.
Yeah.
It's all in the wrist. Or the claw.
Okay, so there's, there's my, actually, let me get out. So I'm going to do this precisely just because I really want you to see the logic of what we're doing. All right, so we can all agree that that's the center. And we can know that if I draw points like this, that those are passing through the center, that these represent the tangent points. Okay, and I can actually even draw the, I can draw the circle with the compass. So that's what we're going for. Now I want you to notice something here. If I do the same thing here, actually I'm going to mark them in red. So those are my tangent points. Okay, so watch this. I know that this line has to go from here to here. Okay, you see that? So I know it has to go from here to here. So I know I have to get from here to here, kind of sweeping out like this. Now, with a vertical here, let me draw this vertical more carefully. So I know I can't be farther out than this, right? I know I can't be out there. And I know if I envision a line like this is kind of something I'm doing. I know my point has to be on this side of the line, right? So I have to be between here and here. See how that becomes kind of a narrow range? And actually, and I know I'm more than halfway out, so I know that I have to go like, okay, that's probably about right. You see what I mean?
Whoa.
It's a guess. It's a guess, but it's a damn good guess. And it's as close as I need to be. And here's the thing, if you need to be absolutely precise, next class we can learn how to be absolutely precise, like say for a mechanical. But I'm talking about sketching them now. Now, do you see that I can do the reverse here? I know I'm going to be parallel at this, or a vertical line at this point, and it's got to get over to this one somehow, so I can guess that it's going to be about there. Now, here's how I test those measurements. If I take these two measurements for my minor axis, if I take these and I cut them in half, if I take this distance and I cut it in half, look where I end up. A little bit off of the center, right where I expect to be. Which tells me that's a good guess. Okay? It's within a few percentage points. You see what I mean? Now, with the minor or with the major axis, if I draw a perpendicular, okay, is that showing up well enough? Do I need to change the exposure for you guys?
Yeah, it's a little light.
Okay, let's. Better. Okay. So, if this is my major axis, we'll take a look. I know I'm going to hit this point, and I know I need to get down to here. And I know I need to be outside of this line. So, okay, let's try maybe there. And then I do the same thing over here. I know I'm actually sweeping out a little bit. Oh, let's try maybe there. And then I look to see if they're equal. And if they're not, I fuss with them a little bit to make them equal. You see what I mean? But they're symmetrical. So what I need to be able to do is I need to be able to do this.
Full.
See if that's looking reasonable. So then I win. So here's the thing. At this point, we're not talking about mechanical perfection. We're talking about sketching it so it's pretty damn good.
What with our cubes?
Okay, so here's what I want you guys to try. We've got about 25 minutes. Here's what I want you to try and accomplish. As a group, try to draw a fairly large cube like that and draw ellipses on the 3 visible sides. And if you get stuck, talk to your teammates.